Excuse me. Can I quit this podcast?
I told Eddie Murphy to stay in college so he'd have something to fall back on.
I did great advice.
And here we are.
Why is there a sound effect of a zipper going down at the end of the intro? I think
That wasn't a sound effect. I'm horny.
Oh, God.
All right. Can I
I
introduce?
thought that felt funny.
I want to introduce the show.
Why?
Welcome to Stand Up Memories. I'm Peter Bales, and that's all you need to know.
That's all they have to know.
Jackie the Joke Man,
If
Martling.
they haven't turned away by now, we got them.
Jackie the Joke Man, Martling.
Yep.
Distinguished old Dutch name from early New York City, Martling.
That is so relevant.
It is. We talked about that when we first started the show.
It's true.
And we have a really terrific and a good friend guest today, a comedian by the name of Richie Byrne.
Also from Old New York?
And he's Richie Byrne.
No, came off the boat.
Close enough.
He came off the boat in Lake Ronkonkoma and got to shore. And your ethnic background.
I was working cruise ships.
Okay. But your ethnic background is
Irish and Italian.
Irish
My
and
mom's
Italian.
My mom's Italian.
Okay, because the Irish part really shows,
Yes.
especially when you're performing on stage and your face gets red and you're going to die any moment.
That's
the Irish.
That's the Irish.
side.
Been going up for 30 years, Pete.
I've been with people.
It's like going to see the Flying Melendez. They don't care if they laugh. They just want to be there when he dies.
But I've been watching, I'm sitting next to somebody watching Richie Byrne, and I find myself saying, no, he's fine. He always looks like, yeah, he's sweating a little bit. His face, he's fine. That's how.
Did I look like that? We worked
That's-
Thursday. Did I look like that on Thursday? Because we were in the right place.
We were, Richie and I just performed at a 55 and older, which
55
means
and older.
75 and
Yes,
older.
there is no.
That used to sound so old.
Yeah.
And I
that's-
can't even remember who was president when
Yeah.
I turned 55.
That is my crowd. These places, these 55 and older communities, they put on comedy shows and they are so much fun.
They really are.
the people
They
are
really
loose,
No, they
right?
really
They
are.
they're so nice.
They are. I'm doing a daytime show tomorrow of over like seniors.
Honestly,
And they're just
how
so
many?
much fun.
How many? If take 100 people in that audience, how many are between 55 and 65?
Three.
Three or
None?
four. Yeah, he's right. It's an older crowd.
And
but
they
they're-
work there.
and they're fun. They're what? Not only are
Yeah.
they fine, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
It's an evening entertainment, and they've got
Yeah.
they have nice facilities. Everybody sits there and they watch, and everybody laugh. I mean, it's a no
Yeah.
problem. There are no problems. It's just so
I get
much
laid
fun.
all the time. It's great.
Actually, I did
Wow.
an assisted living facility. Show went great. At the end of the night, I'm walking out to the parking lot. This guy in a white coat grabs me, trying to take me back to my room. I mean,
you guys don't hit on the babes.
I'm
can't.
available.
Are there
and I
any?
do.
Are there any in range? Like
No.
hovering around
Well,
60.
I got to tell you, my range has gone up,
Oh.
and it's
My range has gone to some of the men.
As Adam Leslie used to say, as time passes, your preferences plummet.
Your preferences plummet. Adam Leslie.
I couldn't get that out.
No, you couldn't. But I wanted Adam Leslie, to everybody watching, the late Adam Leslie, a wonderful comedian that we know from Florida
But
originally.
relax, folks, because when he was alive, nobody knew who he was either.
But
Just-
I want you.
Funny,
Jackie just
funny
brought
guy.
up. Do you know Adam Leslie?
No, I know
Okay,
of him.
You know
I
of
remember
him.
him.
Jackie,
I never
tell
worked
the
with him.
story about a phone call that Adam Leslie got when we were in Florida at the comic strip condominium.
so long ago that it was the first year that the comic strip. It was so long ago there was actually a phone in a comedy condo, which is absolutely unheard of. And I was brand new. It was my first time, actually, I guess, on the road on a gig like that. I had met Richie and I brought Rodney Dangerfield to the club. So Richie felt obligated to book me. I walked in and it's Adam Leslie, Mitchell Walters, and me.
Wow.
And I'm so excited. And here we are in this little stupid room, but half a duplex that were going to be drunk and fooling around doing everything. And the phone rings. And I answer, and it says, "Hello, this is Mark Schiff." And totally innocently, 100% fooling, I go, "Oh, funny you should call, Mark. We were just discussing which one of us is going to do your act tonight."
Yes.
And he was infuriated. He must have.
Are you
thought we were
serious?
he goes, "That's what I'm calling about. Is Adam Leslie there?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Adam, it's Mark Schiff." Adam had been at not Zigzags. What's it called? Yuck Yucks in Canada. And he'd done the first show. And he didn't have anything left, really. And they let the people stay for the second show.
Oh.
So he didn't have enough material. So he did a whole bunch of Mark Schiff's act. And Mark Schiff was there the next week. And he went on stage, and the owner said, "What are you doing? That's Adam Leslie's act." And he was so pissed off. And I said, "It's Mark Schiff," and he sounds pissed. I didn't know such. And I handed him the phone. And it was one of those things where you don't hear the other end of the conversation. You see this. I couldn't. I didn't. Oh God! What a wonderful. And that was my introduction to Adam Leslie, which summed it up.
Adam Leslie was a wonderful guy. He had every vice you could possibly
And
have.
so did Mitchell Walters.
So did
that's
Mitchell
quite a
Walters.
week.
That
is-
what a contest that was.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember having good shows that week and freebasing, which
Damn.
was a wild.
Well,
Oh,
can I tell a story about this podcast?
Yes.
The last time I was on this podcast, we finished the show and Jackie got a phone call. Do you remember this? And he turns and he goes, "Hey, it's Shecky Green." And I thought it was code for somebody you guys knew. I didn't really think it was really Shecky. First of all, I didn't know Shecky Green was still alive. And he goes, "Check, I'm going to you put him on speaker." And Shecky went right into bits. And you were like, "Just talk normal." Do you remember this? And I'm like,
I don't remember.
"Oh my
He
God."
was so much fun.
And you're like, "I'm here with Richie
I do.
Byrne." And I'm like, I cannot believe Shecky Green's on the phone. So I leave the podcast and I talk to my 92-year-old uncle. And I go, "You're not going to believe who I just talked to, Shecky Green." He goes, "Hi." I go, "My friend Jackie Martling got a phone call from." Then I talked to my 80-year-old mom. I said, "You're not going to believe I just talked to Shecky Green." She said, "How?" I said, "My Jackie Martling got a phone call from." And both times they were like, "Oh my God, you spoke to Shecky Green?" Then I talked to my 40-year-old friend and I tell him, I go, "I just talked to Shecky Green." He goes, "How?" I go, "Jackie Martling." He goes, "Oh my God, you spoke to Jackie Martling?"
Yeah,
He
I
had
thought
no
he
idea
was
who
going
Shecky
to say, "I can't believe they're both still alive."
Yeah,
No.
Shecky died shortly.
Like
after.
a week later, he died.
He did. He did. Now the
he was a
ultimate.
great character.
was.
I think when he called that night, or one time he called up to yell at me because I used to call him once a year on his birthday. "You're not calling me on my birthday. Why aren't you it's just wonderful. Like, he certainly wasn't my best friend. I met him 3 times.
Yeah, but
in my life.
you were talking about doing some interviews with him, and it sadly you and the world ran out of time.
I really wanted one time when he was much older. I went in and we had lunch, me and a couple of the Friars comedians, and we had lunch with him, and he just rattled. But like at the age of 94, he must have talked for a half an hour or 45 minutes. I was friends with a very old guy. That was him and Shecky actually had a comedy club in New Orleans until they found a dead body in the green room. Okay, that's the story. I don't know how true it is, but Shecky's like, "How do you know Frankie Pirelli? You know Frankie? Oh my God!" And so I got Frankie on the phone. So these 2 old codgers are talking, and it was like setting somebody up in 7th grade. Great character.
Shecky is the ultimate comedian's first name. You can't be named Shecky and be a plumber or be a nuclear scientist. Can you imagine a nuclear scientist?
Did anybody
Shecky.
ever ask him if that was his given name? I think.
Well, you're the only one who knew him.
Shecky. I think Shecky is an easy extension from Shelley or.
One time.
That's a good trivia question.
One time.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of
His
Sheckys.
parents did not name him
Shecky Green?
I-
No.
why
Shecky
not?
Einstein,
I'm sure
no.
Green wasn't his real last name.
Oh, you don't think so?
No. It was,
So
it
one
was a
time-
Whopper.
one time at
Green
Re-
Bergenstein.
Right.
One time at Rascals, the bartender convinced Danny, the manager, to put him on for a few minutes. He had an act he wanted to try.
Oh, I
It was
know.
a re- oh,
I
it
remember.
was-
It's funny, Pete. I was thinking of this guy the other day. That's Shecky Hitler.
Shecky Hitler. He goes, he introduced me as Shecky
I can't
Hitler.
believe you.
Oh.
You remember that?
Yes, Shecky Hitler.
Oh,
And
that's-
he used to love to go up
And
and,
you
and
said-
they hated him.
And
What bartender?
the-
Which
okay.
bartender?
Oh man! And
I
you know what?
couldn't
I'm
think of his
blanking
name
on.
the
I
other day.
could, let me say
Nice
it.
guy.
Great, terrific guy. And Danny let him go on, and we didn't really know what we were going to get. I introduced him as Shecky Hitler, and the premise of his act was he would say the setup, and the punchline was the same. A guy walks into a pet store, and he was arrested and taken away.
Which had to be
Two
funny.
two girls walk into a disco, and they were arrested and taken away. And that's
That had to be funny
It's-
and then got
it's-
unfunny
Oh,
It got-
so
and then
fast.
got funny again.
it got well. I don't think we got to the again part.
I forgot you were hosting that show. I remember I was there that night.
I mean, and it was really funny,
Wow.
but only for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, when I
Ah.
first started on the Stern Show and Howard said, we need something for you to do. I said, well, I do this thing with, I know every joke and people they try and stump me with a joke. So we started doing Stump the Comedians. And of course, every time somebody called up, it was a Jew joke or a black joke, you know, things that were so foul
Right.
or so offensive. So eventually Fred would go in the other room with the jokes we gave him. And he'd call in with this very nondescript. You couldn't tell if it was an old lady or an old man. It was really hard to tell because it was a, hello, Howard, you know. And so at one point, you know, I only came in once a week, but at some point I said, oh, is that Mrs. Flemstein on the phone again? Oh, it's Mrs. Flemstein. Meanwhile, we used to work in Florida, and on Sunday night, the manager was off. So we got to play and do whatever we want. So we used to do each other's acts and get real drunk. And Kelly Rogers used to go up as Shecky Flemstein, which I thought Flemstein, there can't be a funnier Jewish name than Flemstein. So when I got home, I said, oh, is that Mrs. Flemstein? And then after however many weeks, one day, Robin Quivers goes, oh, how'd you get the name Flemstein? Who named her Mrs. Flemstein? I said, I did. Oh, right. Like you had anything to do with anything. So I didn't get credit from the show for doing it. But meanwhile, Kelly Rogers all pissed off at me because I stole
I was
the
gonna
name.
say what you
They got me coming and going. Those
A
bastards.
lot of Howard fans remember Mrs. Flemstein.
Mrs. Flemstein.
Oh, that was funny stuff. That was terrific.
They were the dirtiest, most atrocious jokes you could get away with on
the air.
I
remember
Channel
broadcast.
4,
Yeah.
AM radio.
AM
NBC.
radio in those days. AM radio.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. And that's Stump the Joke Man. We're going to do Stump the Joke Man at some point here live at Paradise Studios in Massapequa. That's where we are. That's where we do the show from.
One
And
day?
we're on the Strong Island Television Network. I want to plug this. And they are on so many platforms, Facebook Live, YouTube, X, Vimeo, Roku, very cool, and others. All of the audio stuff like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I'm very surprised to see here Pornhub. I didn't expect
It's on all of these?
That's only this show.
We're on all of these things,
Right now.
right? Well, yes.
They're not paying us enough, Peter.
No, but
Did you make up Pornhub?
I made up.
Oh.
Pornhub.
No, it's really there, Jack.
It's on
No,
Pornhub.
you never
Pornhub.
know. You
You-
never know.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Pornhub would have the three of us on? They lose viewers.
My video
Shecky
tape,
Wad.
Who Farted, I Smelt It, was on Shecky Wad.
Yeah, now to repeat this. This is the name of an album, of a comedy album by a thinking, sentient human being, Jackie.
Hearted, Ice Melted, and it was on the Playboy channel when the Playboy channel
Can-
first happened. They never, the new cable channels didn't have any programming. So if you did a show on Food Network, they played it over and over and over,
Right.
and they kept airing my video. And it was so funny because these guys would be salesmen and be at a hotel, and they put in their $5 so they can, have a good time with themselves watching
So
the
you-
Playboy channel. And it's me telling jokes. And you son of a bitch! What are you know?
Can I ask you a question?
You can
That
ask me
ti-
anything because
I
I'm your
don't get-
partner.
I
Thanks
don't-
for having me
Work
here.
with you.
I no, but do you get the title? Hoof-hearted.
Ice
Explain the title to me. I'm serious.
HOOF
Hoof.
HEARTED
Yeah.
question mark ICEMELTEDD period.
Do you get that?
You're a teacher, right?
Yes.
I can't tell if he's
I
kidding.
can't tell if he's kidding.
Wait,
either.
I got to focus. I have to focus.
Say it. Look at me and say
Hoof.
it.
Hearted,
Ice
ice melted.
melted.
Say it faster.
Who farted ice melted? Oh, I didn't even get that till now.
You really never
are you
got it?
lying?
I'm sorry.
Are you
Are
lying?
you serious?
No. Yeah.
Now he's got me confused.
And actually, I just got, what was the movie that had, phone call from Mike Hunt? What was that?
Red?
What movie was that in? That was in a.
I
It
don't
was
know.
in a, that's the standard. But Red
That's
from the
standard.
Tube Bar.
There's other ones.
I'd happened to a girl I went to college with was working in a mall, and they were looking. They said,
Yeah.
my friend is missing. Can you?" And she went over the whole mall asking for Mike Hunt.
Where's Mike Hunt?
It
It
was a
fun,
famous
yeah.
movie. It might be Harris Bueller or something like
Yeah,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
No, it's not Ferris Bueller.
Where's Mike Hunt?
Ferris Bueller.
So you
Bueller.
mentioned the mall. I was on a radio show.
How'd you get a radio?
It was a local radio show. I think it was in Albany. And some of them, they were taking calls, and I was flirting with one of the callers, and she's calling in from the mall. She's at her job at an ice cream parlor in the mall. And I say, "Oh, you're taking time to call." She goes, "Well, it's slow, And I'm flirting with her. She says the name of the ice cream parlor, and oh man, that's really great. Oh, I'd love to see you later. Oh, she goes, "Oh, come on down." So we end the radio show, and I actually went down to the mall. And I go into the ice cream parlor,
Low hanging fruit, huh?
and behind the counter is this fairly attractive woman working
Oh,
and leaning over the counter and yelling at her, "How dare you!" is her boyfriend who was listening. And I just,
when you walked in,
when I walked
did she
in,
know who you were?
no. How could she? She
Well,
didn't.
you figured out.
How
I-
quick
I
did you
saw-
do an about face?
I said, "I'm really not in the mood for ice cream. I thought I was." And
You probably said it out
I was
loud.
never in the mood for ice cream.
I
Did
was
you
never
say
in
it
the
out
mood.
loud? Like, I don't want to.
And I just walked out. Apparently the boyfriend was
He
listening.
heard it. And got
Yeah,
mad.
I would have punched.
Was she
him.
that bad?
Was she flirting back?
Well, I mean, she invited me to come down to the ice cream parlor in the mall after
She's selling ice cream.
I did a show, a radio show up in Rochester. Brother Weeds, remember?
Sure.
And he had a porn star on. And back then, they always it's how it started that. But so this porn star comes on and he says, "All right, the porn broad is here." And she got offended that he called her a broad. And
You gotta love that.
she walked out.
Yeah.
And now I go crazy because I'm the other guest. And I'm like, all these years I hear about radio shows and the porn star comes on, she gets naked. And he goes, "All right, if anyone is willing to come down and take off your shirt for Richie," this woman shows up. Oh my God. She is like 70 years old and just
Watch it.
done. And she takes off her shirt and she had heart surgery. So she's got and she's sitting in the corner and they're all talking. And at one point I go, "Can I ask something? Can we let her put her shirt back on?"
But the great thing about a 70-year-old woman that has a scar down the front, it takes you so much longer to finish. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'd
I
like to
don't
not
have
know.
any idea what your point
What
is.
I mean is if you're having sex with her and she
Oh, my
looks
God.
that horrible, all you got to do is look at that scar and it'll slow you
All
right
right,
up.
all right. We've made several mistakes on this show already with our choice
I
of
wasn't
material.
the one on the show with the old, you can't call them broads. The porn broad.
Porn broad.
So what words have you stopped using in the last 20 years, Jackie?
That's a good question.
And it's a fair question.
Polak.
And that's a good answer.
And that's the only one.
I've
I've always said two
broad.
black guys going to a bar. I'll still say broad once in a while or tomato, just being
tomato.
being ironic, being silly,
And how do you describe a woman's legs? They are gams. Gams is
No
from
gams.
1930.
No, I don't use tomato because nobody would understand it, but I just always talk about Joe from the Florida comic strip, because I was in the manager of the Florida comic strip. That word was in his lexicon. He wasn't being funny. He wasn't going,
Oh, like,
and then this tomato.
No, no,
walked in."
right.
He's referring to like a painted up,
Right.
So, Richie, how have you changed? How long have you been in comedy?
35 years.
35 years.
36, 35 years, 35, 36.
What did you used to do that you wouldn't do
A
now?
lot. Silly little things that you just go, ooh, I can't, I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I used to say, if your kid does this, beat him. And you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
Right,
no, you can't.
You
do
know?
that.
Oh, you know what? I'm lying. Like so many jokes about, guys slapping their wives or saying nasty stuff. And I completely forgot. I still say the black guy did this or the black guy did that. I do so much less of those jokes. But I, of course, don't do the ones with the kingfish voices, which were the classics,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't even, I used to have a bit about Richard Simmons that, like, I look at it now and go, I could never have done that now.
Right. Absolutely. And maybe it's
No.
for the best. I mean,
What hurts me more
some
than
of it
that
is.
some of it's
Some of it
definitely
is.
for the best.
I'm old and I've been around so long that I've had to drop things out, not because they're Jewish jokes or black jokes, but because it's so far, like one by one, I had to get rid of Liberace.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of Alan Funt. One of my favorite jokes
Why
of all
Alan
time,
Funt?
I had to get rid of for like
Why would you
4
get
or
rid
5.
of Alan Funt?
Nobody knows who it is.
Oh, I thought you meant,
oh.
I thought he was a child molester or something.
No, and there was a
Candid camera
one
for
of
the
my
young
Yes,
favorite
for the young
jokes
kids.
is little old Mr. Ravelli is at the bottom of his stoop barbecuing a chicken on a manual rotisserie. And a beatnik comes by and says, "Hey, man, the music stopped and your monkey's on fire." Okay, which is great, except you have to know what a manual rotisserie is. You got to know that a little old Italian guy, if he was an organ grinder, he would have a monkey on a leash, and the beatnik became a hippie, became a homeless, became,
Yeah.
people scratching their heads, and that's a funny joke.
I just changed a joke, a lesbian joke about a gym teacher to a pure shop teacher joke. Took out the lesbian.
You did.
I did
Yeah.
because times
Yeah.
are changing.
You can't say lesbian.
Well, no, you can, but I understand that. I want to feel good.
All female gym teachers are not lesbians.
Most.
Well, not only them, but their partners.
That's hard.
Of course,
Most. Anyway,
I just found
never had a
somebody-
lesbian gym teacher. Did you?
Somebody asked me about that recently, and they were like, "How do you feel about?" And I'm like, "Listen, if it's funny, if it's witty and funny, they'll be okay. If you know what I mean."
but
If-
the person who's receiving the joke, it's really up to them to, if they're offended.
Most lesbians know that they're lesbians.
All right. We're trying to address a serious issue.
Why?
Here, Jackie. Why? No, you're right. Because I work with Jackie a lot and love it. And I tell the audience right up front, when Jackie comes on, it's 1957.
yes,
And-
that's a good one. That's a good idea.
He says that because that's how.
All right.
I look so young. That's
You know
why.
what? This show felt like
This
10,
is-
10 minutes to me. Let me say something.
So 2 lesbians walk into Kingfisher's office. Hello there. That's it.
All right. That's extremely inappropriate. But I guess that's the point.
That's the point,
That's
though.
the point.
How is it not okay if
One
he's
of my-
trying to make a
One of my
point?
favorite jokes I had to get rid of. It's 6:00 Sunday morning in the middle of Harlem.
Oh,
And
no.
2 guys approach each other on the street. And the first one says, "Good morning, motherfucker." And the other one says, "Good morning, Reverend."
It's a great joke, but
I know that the reverends get so pissed off.
And the motherfuckers.
And
we're
the
sorry.
mother.
We are very sorry. I apologize.
Ah,
But I don't
who's
apologize.
sorry now? She died,
Oh,
Yeah.
who did?
Connie Francis.
Connie Francis.
Oh, I know.
And you know her real name was Connie Francis?
You know what her middle name was? Shecky.
Shecky. Connie
that's-
Shecky Francis.
That, it's nice to end a show on a callback. Just Sheckity, that's a classic callback. I just
Yes, Shecky.
Now listen, I don't.
Now you
how
have
this
to
time we
explain
ran out of
what
time.
a callback is.
We-
Nobody knows what a callback
We
is.
are running. I can't believe it, but we're
It was a quick
Richie.
half
Richie,
hour.
that was a very.
You guys
quick-
should have me back and
We
talk
should-
to me sometime.
Richie, I'm sorry.
That's what this is not a good setup because you.
The last
know what,
time I did
Nick?
the show, we talked great. But tonight I felt like I
Well,
don't want to get
because
in
last-
Jackie's way.
Last
and-
time we're looking at you and you're looking at
Yeah.
us.
Richie Byrne.
It's-
Listen,
but it's not your first time doing
talking,
this,
I'm
right?
not talking. I'm talking to the audience
Yeah,
now.
but it was just.
I'm
bad
talking to the
other time.
audience.
Oh, was it?
Richie Byrne, Bryne.
Yes.
Richie Byrne is
Yes.
just such a comedian. You see that name somewhere, you go see that show. Richie Byrne.
And there's every chance he's going to die.
And we're and and
You
Shecky
said
Byrne.
that.
he's
Shecky
he's a
Byrne.
wonderful Irish guy. That's the Irish is part is what shows over the Italian, I think.
Absolutely.
And he's
Do you
got
think there's one Irish guy in the world named Shecky?
Yes. Shecky O'Halloran. He's a great guy.
Oh, I like him.
all right. Now
I
we
don't
are
think there's
on
an
the
Irish-
Strong Island
Is there a
television.
Jewish guy named Patty? I doubt it.
This is the Strong Island Television Network and Paradise Studios, where we do our podcast. They have a great facility here.
Do you
with
know
all
the story about the Irish
Two of my
bar?
favorite comedians ever, ladies and
The
gentlemen,
Irish-
right here.
The Irish bar in New York City is on fire. It's fire is out of control. And finally they get it under control. And the fire chief comes in and there's two guys sitting at the bar drinking. And the fire chief says, "How the hell did the fire start?" And one of the guys says, "How should we know? It was burning when we came in." Now, that was a clean joke.
That's a clean joke.
You can tell
It's
that.
offensive
can
to the
tell
Irish,
that.
That's
but
not offensive to the black,
which makes it okay.
which makes everything fine.
Now, Paradise Studios, Massapequa, Long Island. You have
Great
any
place.
audio, video, podcasting needs at all, you come here. This is state of the art. Thank you to Strong Island
He's
Television.
not kidding. This is really an incredible place.
It's
There's
my
so
first
many-
time here. It's wonderful.
So many
Standupmemories.com. As for
I love
all-
Peter just talking, plowing through.
Well, that's the only way
plowing
it's gonna
through.
I have to plow through.
There's little places to perform. They have a bathroom. You name it, they got it here.
This is it's a very, and somebody said before there's kind of a Zen atmosphere, and there is. It's a good feeling when you walk in here.
Now explain that to me. Forget them. What's a Zen atmosphere?
An atmosphere of
Freedom.
peace, tranquility. That's what I feel here.
Yeah, that's what you want for a comedy show. is
Paradise
peace and
Studios,
tranquility.
Massapequa.
You
All right.
moron. You don't want you want energy. You want conflict.
I want peace, love, Woodstock, Bangladesh. That's the year that I'm living in.
I want a whore.
I want to thank our guest comedian for putting up with us, Richie
Well,
Byrne.
you're welcome.
He's so funny.
Wow, he finally said something.
Of course. Jackie the Joke Man Martling, Peter Bales, Stand Up Memories. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Richie Byrne will be back next time with the second half of a sentence.